What's up? What's up? Hey, hey, give a few minutes for you guys to come on in. Welcome. What's up, everybody? Doing something a little different. Hey, hey, let me pop in over here, see who's here. What's up, family? What's up? Miss you guys. Love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in for a second. You know how we do. Little conversation. What's up, I? Happy New Year and all that good stuff. Hey, hey, down here in this dungeon. You know how I do my thing down here. What's up, Eddie? Love you. Just doing something a little different. Give you guys a few more minutes. We get started down here in the beginning, straight through it to Detroit. Presto, I do. All my house heads coming in. What's up, family? Get the thing started. Well, hello, hello. Yes, yes. Down here in the dungeon where it all began. These I did not get, but I did upgrade. Started off with a pair of linear techs. What you guys know about those? Got the linear text popping. Cheers to all my people out there. You know how we get down. Know something, something. Hey, hey, I love you guys, family. What's up? Yes, yes. So this, for those who don't know, where I do all my broadcasting, is called the Dungeon Studio, coming out of Detroit. Man, now to some of you, we ain't gonna talk too much about it, but we might. Never know what we gonna get into on this one. So I wanted to create a platform to give us all really an opportunity just to say a few things, talk about some things, ask some questions, talk about some of the great history, especially my history of in the dance and house community, hanging out with some of these phenomenal DJs and some of these great clubs, and just wanted to create a platform for really all of us who got an opportunity to really get out here and dance and see some amazing DJs who have passed and also some that are still here who are just not really getting any shine, possibly maybe kind of hidden behind some of the big names. Never any shade for all those who've put in some work. We all have. I'm 28 years in. It doesn't seem like just yesterday I was down here in this same place doing basement parties. So, we go way back. What's up? What's up? Yes, yes. So for those that got an opportunity to come down and actually catch me in my infant stages on these turntables and just really learning this craft, got my first set in 1991. Man, oh man, when the delivery truck showed up, I'm like, what? Oh, got the 12. Well, no, I'm sorry, I got the linear text that showed up with my little Gemini 19-inch mixer. A good friend of mine, Kay Han, had promised me if I got some equipment, she would come over and help me hook things up. And she was a woman to her word. She came over, got my first little setup with some sound. I'll never forget, I had a Technique receiver, some Infinity speakers, which I still have that whole little setup today. And she got some sound out of it. Um, I already had a record collection. We're definitely going to have to hit on that vinyl talk for those that still have theirs, for those that support the vinyl movement that's still going on right now, and also for me, just the love of the music that we already started on. For those that were fortunate enough to begin in the vinyl era, if you did not, never fret. It's all about the music, damn it. Hey guys, welcome. Got some faces that popped in. What's up? What's up? Yes, yes. You already know. But doing basement parties that kicked off about 1993. Man, we got it in. We got it in. That's really when house was really, in its mayhem. My man Ken Collier, as you guys see, I'm representing the. If you can't see with this glow, it's Record Time Record Store. Man, we're gonna get off into those and hopefully some later dates of conversation, talking about some of these record stores that we all went and hung out at. Record Time, Buy Right, Melodies and Memories. Um, Zayna's was pushing vinyl back then. Just so many places that we all got a chance to go. And for a DJ myself, coming out really as a clubber. So a lot of people say, "Well, dang, Sin, where you come from? Where are all these DJs that so many different divisions of where and who and where you guys came from?" It's like myself, if you came from sort of the after hour LGB Black community hangouts, then you knew certain DJs. If you came from so on so the quote straight side, then you knew certain DJs. But one thing I can say, and nothing has really changed about that, it really was all about the music. And it should still be about that now, but of course we'll get into that in another day conversation. Homophobia, homophobia in the house music community. Yes, it still exists, but that's a later date conversation. Getting back to these right here, and for those that had the opportunity to get a chance to play down here, and for those that was hanging my man Marvin, whoo, yeah, with my girl Tiff down here running things. We're getting it in late night. That was insane. So if you guys have like any questions, you want to talk about some music, maybe even talk about some tracks. That's one of the things I do miss about the era of where we are now. The music has just definitely changed for the good, for the bad, for the indifferent. This would be considered a very old school setup. We're now dealing with controllers. Well, to each his own. I'm not a big fan of the new thing. I never was a laptop type girl. Always just, endured the vinyl movement. Of course, went to CDs and now kicking off the keys, the flash drives, actually doing your DJ sets with those. That's where these pioneers come in at with the USB ports. Now you got controllers. And so everybody's got a damn controller. I ain't knocking it. We'll have a whole long conversation about that. But I just say, whatever makes you rock this box and it's coming from here, ah, do we really care where you come from? As long as you ain't sinking. I know. I saw you just got you a new baby, and I see you working out on it. And like I say, I'm not a um, never want to say what someone should or shouldn't use. I know you yourself, Mr. Flood, have put in a lot of work, like myself, and also Marvin and Ken Collier and Stacey Hill and John Collins and Bruce Bailey and Rick Wilhite and Norm Talley. I can name Al Esther. We can Teresa Hill. I could just start shooting them off who have really put in. And there's so many more. I'm just kicking off the top of the head who have put in so much work before the controller era has showed up. For the newbies who are just getting the new controllers, who didn't get the opportunity to do the vinyl thing or the turntables or have to spend money, let's talk about that real fast. One thing I will say, um, and I know for those that came out and had to buy this equipment, a lot of people don't realize back in the day, um, not every DJ had equipment. Not even every DJ could actually afford to get two turntables. Two turntables back in the day was $1,000, 500 per turntable. There was no such thing as a CDJ. That's all you had was some turntables. Your mixer, that thing could run from $99 to $2,000 or $3,000. It just depends upon what you decided to spend and what you wanted to do. So you're looking at easily $2,000 to $3,000. We're not talking about the amplifier. We're not talking about the speakers. You're looking at two, three, $4,000 worth of equipment. So yes, a lot of the DJs back in the day which even to my surprise didn't have equipment. They would actually go to some of the record stores. Giving away some of the DJ secrets real fast. They would go to the record stores, and the first time they would actually get a chance to really play the record and hear the record was at the club that they played. But back then, most of the clubs, probably 85% of the clubs, had full setups. Did I hear crickets? Because that's not what's going on today. That's one of the bigger changes. That's another topic of conversation. Clubs do not provide most sound systems nowadays. So when a DJ is called to come and play a set, he or she has to make provisions in the money on the equipment that needs to be brought to provide these parties. And like I said, once again, most DJs don't have that. Now they do. Now they do. Okay, you better talk about it. Oh, I remember those bus rides. I remember the cars with the speakers piled on top. We can go back and talk about that history. You know, a lot of us had an opportunity to do, for myself speaking, did after hours, which were late nights. We didn't get on the tables until 12, 1 o'clock. And so, talking about maybe bringing your equipment out at that time to play till sometimes 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And guess what? You're the only one loading that back on your car. You're the only one tugging that back in the basement. So it was a lot going on. But guess what? Main thing was all for the love of the music and all for the love to make you guys dance. Welcome, welcome. Yes, yes. I see you guys are chiming in. Hey, everybody, I appreciate you guys taking out a moment of your day to just check me out. Just wanted to come down here in the dungeon studio. I need to sing like I have some theme music when that comes on to play behind this thing. So we were just talking about back in the history of bringing out equipment and DJs and controllers and just the music and clubs and vinyl. Let's get to for my thing. This is why I wore this shirt. Record time. The movement of vinyl is coming back. I so love it. I mean, CDs, just like cassettes, 8-track tapes, reel to reels, are slowly but surely leaving. Hey Jay, what's up? They're all slowly but sure leaving. Your cars after 2013 stopped producing CD players. So this is why I created the USB drive, and I put all my mixes on these. These are, well, you guys can catch up all my stuff USB. I just came out with a new collection of 45 earrings and different things. DJset.com. You guys can get all my stuff there. But once again, getting back to um, the transition from where we are today with controllers and music, man, can you just imagine? At least during my era, I was blessed. I'm a little older. Got an opportunity to hang out with the real to real era. Um, that was not fortunate enough to own one, but of course knew some people who had one. My dad had an 8-track tape player, which I have inherited somewhere up in my dungeon somewhere with some. Then you jumped off to cassettes, and that's when I started my era, especially down here in the basement, getting the opportunity to make my own little cassettes. Um, 30 minutes, I'll never forget getting vinyl, running out to record time, buy right records, big up to my man Cliff. I stopped by there a couple of weeks ago right after the holiday, saw him still over there on 7 Mile on Livernois. Man, it felt good to walk back into, we'll say, a mom and pop store that still exists. It's called the Music Center now, aka Buy Right Records. And to just see an old face still sitting there, still doing what he does, seeing vinyl still on the wall, man, still churning out and producing Detroit house and Detroit, music. So you guys make sure you guys still support that whenever he get a chance to get over there. He's still over there, like I say, 7 Mile, Livernois, Buy Right. Man, one of my other big stores, which I love, was Record Time. If you guys remember, one in Roseville, one in Ferndale. Ferndale was my crazy home for CD sales, and CDs just was out the door over there. Huge, huge, huge place for music. Record Time out there on Gratiot. Met some phenomenal people. My guys, Mike Huckabee. Rest in peace to my man Lavelle Williams, who just passed away a couple of years ago. He was huge out there for helping a lot of us get our music. Just the history. I'll never forget going out there, seeing some of the big dogs having their individual private crates put in the back in this room that of course I couldn't. I wasn't a big dog, so I couldn't get those records. But they had one for Ken Collier, Melvin Hill. I met for the first time as a little rookie. Kim James walks in with his Kim James jacket from JLB. I said, I want one of those. I want to play on the radio one day. And, you just never know where your journey is going to take you. And so seeing him, uh, one of the guys I really love, speaking of radio, was Mr. Charles Hicks. You guys know the legends, Dwayne and the Mix Bradley. Huh, whew, I tell you, now we talking about some throwback fellas. Dwayne and Mix Bradley, Jeff Mills, aka the Wizard, um, um, Elton Weathers, Felton Howard. Whew, big shouts out to my man Felton Howard, doing big things all the time. Got to give love to my girl who is now known as the godmother of house, Stacey Hotwax Hale. She was putting it down in some of the major clubs and also radio way before a lot of us getting our little ears, wet behind the ears opportunities. John Collins been around. John Jammin Collins been around for a very long time. Bruce Bailey, Rick Wilhite. I remember going to a couple of his stores that he was a big supplier and still is of vinyl, putting out music for a lot of the Detroit producers. Delano Smith, Norm Talley, Mike Clark. I mean, so much mega talent. Big shouts out to my girl from Women on Wax, DJ Minx, producing all type of stuff. The big female DJ that I remember that does not get a lot of credit. Just recently, they just started paying homage to her. I believe they called her the first lady of techno. Her name is Kelly Hand. Love, love, love her. Definitely one of the first females putting out that vinyl, doing as we call it now, ghetto tech. Um, there's some girls in this house. Man, I got to pull up some vinyl one day as we doing these conversations. I have to go over there to the archive as we're talking about some of these records and definitely get a chance to pull some things up. Kelly Hand was huge, especially back in the Heaven days with Mr. Ken Collier. I remember seeing her, um, Delano, all those guys coming up with their white label records, 12 inches, wanting Ken Collier to play some things over, and that's what Ken did. He was huge for, as I like to call, record breaking. Um, that's another thing. That's another topic that we'll definitely have to get into about record breaking. That's what we missed today too. Don't get it twisted. Love, love, love classics. Love the classics. But like myself, I produce new music. I produce original music. And so how does that get played if we get stuck in some of the eras of classic music? And we have to move forward. Nothing wrong with sprinkling some classics within the realm, but there's so many more classics than the original 50. I used to hold me, change for me. I'll tell you one thing. If I have to play Fly Life one more time, no, I'm just kidding. I love Fly Life. That was something we broke during the post era in Alvin's. That's the horn track by Basement Jacks. A lot of people still ask me what that is. I'll never forget when I first got that record. Uh, Hold on. To those who are out there, let's all take one. I remember getting that record at record time, and was like, man, this is a huge song. Once again, I'm talking about Fly Life by Basement Jacks. I got it right when I was playing Alvin's on Mondays. My man, rest in peace, Wesley, had started doing that night. And we'll talk about different individual parties and events that I got a chance. All right, Plastic Dreams. Oh my God, it was, you used to hold me. We can name so many great, when Crystal Waters was huge with all the tracks she was doing, with Gypsy Woman and I mean just so many songs that now, even when they play classics, you will not hear real talk. Some very good classics. I mean, it seems like we play the same classics over and over again. Um, but there's so much music out here, and so I always challenge my DJs. Be versatile. I try my best at times to try to be as versatile as possible. I'm over the classics, but as much as I love them and I love to play where I've came from, also taking you guys on the backwards journey, getting the opportunity to hear. Shit, we played beats back in Tides and Bookies and Bingos and of course the Post and Heavens and Splash. Big ups to my girl Serena Tyler, that was over there killing us at Splash for those that hung out there. I missed the era of Greg Collier and Dwayne the Mix Bradley over at Tides. That was one of the first couple of clubs I got a chance to go out to. One of my first clubs that I got a chance to sneak into with my man Barry Minister Third, rest in peace, um, was Famous Door, Mr. Melvin Hill. Mr. Melvin Hill, Mr. Legendary Melvin Hill, was getting it in. I had never heard anything quite like that. For those that got the opportunity to experience Mr. Hill, uh, just a total Detroit gem. Miss him on the tables today. He hasn't been playing now for about over 10 years. Like I said, we lose so many great DJs, for whatever reasons. Yes. Okay, Rich and Famous. You better talk about it. Rumors, you better talk about it. I did not get a chance to go to either one of those. We'll definitely have to get into some conversations about some spaces, Music Institute. Uh, just we've had some amazing places here, and like I said, what do we have today? Hopefully, we'll get that kind of coming back up. We'll get some things going on. We'll see. Oh, you're talking about abstract truth. We had a thing. You guys love that. That was sort of an anthem for the girls. That and Fired Up by Funky Green Dogs were some major tracks that you can put that on today anywhere, and that's gonna make a dance floor get going. But once again, same old. I myself is not. I'm not going to complain about it because, like I said, I love the classics. I love getting an opportunity to play some of that stuff. And I know you guys don't hear the music as often as we do as DJs. So for the listeners or for the partiers, you're yearning to hear this. For us, we are tired. We are tired of those tracks. But because we love you, I will sacrifice my ears for another day to play those songs just so you guys can dance and also get an opportunity to do more, But I hope you guys are going to get more open, social media get more open to allowing us to play new music, allowing us to get a chance to introduce new things to you. That's what the world is all about, pushing new music, pushing the dance floor, getting back to dancing. That's a whole nother conversation. But wanted to take this time to say thank you guys so much for just chiming in. This is what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be every Tuesday about 9 o'clock. Hop on, come down here in the dungeon. We'll chit chat. I'm going to learn how to get some live chat where we guys can all do some chitter chatting together. It's just going to be a platform to allow us really to talk about events, talk about what's next, what can we do, how can we get this music back out here, how can we interact young and old to be able to create this new sort of dance movement that's actually starting to happen. Um, I love hip hop, love the diversity of what the clubs and the DJs are doing, but I miss my happy music. Me and some friends were talking about it. That's one thing that house music did bring. It was happy music. I don't remember too many parties when you played house music where people were sad or wanted to fight. Um, that music for generations and decades and for years always produced smiles, loves, hugs, sweating, romance, educate you, lift you, inspire you. That's what I need. That's what I'm missing. That's why I continue to play what I play because those things were they were my aphrodisiac to keep me going, keep me uplifted. So, we need that back. We got to figure out a way to get that back. How do we get that back? It's not about the money anymore because, as you see, what has taken over hip hop, the commercials, all the advocates of Pandora's and all these other things, they've made the music no longer interesting. So you have really no real reason to want to come out and party. The violence that's in the clubs today also has prevented a lot of people from saying, hey, I don't mind coming out. But if we don't come out and support, if we don't put bodies in rooms and clubs, guess what? There won't be any. And so you say on any given holiday or any given special occasion, hey, what's there to do tonight? It can't just be that. You have to have people who come out on more of a regular basis and support what people are doing and DJs are doing and promoters are doing. And that's young and old. That's what we're missing also. I see you, Jay. What's up? Preach. I hear you, baby. You know, I'm just here to try to be another avenue to give opportunities for us to all come together and say some things. And it's got to be some changes going on. It takes all of us. It also starts somewhere, and this is a great place to start it. I just miss seeing you guys where I am on the dance floor, looking at your faces. Um, we put in a lot of work. A lot of DJs have put in a lot of work. I told the story when I got a chance to be in front of a group of foreign people to talk about where has the music gone and the changes that has taken place. And for someone like myself, who've put in decades and decades of doing this thing we all love and call house music, and to have your initial audience, pretty much we filed for divorce and we sort of walked away from each other. And so for me, even today, I close the post, it'll actually be 10 years, 15 years today, in June of this year, 2020, June of this year, 2020, the post, my era will have ended for 15 years. It's been 15 years since I actually walked foot back into Time for the Post. That was in June '05 when I closed my era of the Time for the Post parties. And it just seems like yesterday. We were there for 10 years. My people, Tiffany, and all our staff, my man Roderick, who did our sounds, Shannon, all my guys who work with us, putting in the time and effort to show you guys love. You guys showed it in return by supporting that whole thing. And to think about it, 15 years ago in June of this year, the post will be then closed. The era of that completely gone. I think about those that still talk about heavens. That's almost going on about 25 years that closed down, and that's a long time, almost 30 years of just that whole era ending. And so much has changed, so much to I hope continue to grow. Uh, it is what it is. As I try to tell everybody, it's 2020. This is what we are. I appreciate you guys so much. This gives me an opportunity to say, really, thank you, really, for all who are here, who have supported me, who have taught me, who have loved me through the ups and downs of my music and my life. I appreciate you guys so much for still, even today, wanting to hear what DJ Scent wants to put down. And that's what I vow to you for 2020 is to continue to kick some damn ass on these tables. And some of my friends who are awakening are doing the same thing. It's a beautiful music out here. You guys continue to support each other. Watch out for my music on keys and CDs. Like I said, you get my stuff, djcent.com. I'll be here next Tuesday. We're going to talk about more things, more music. I'm going to bring out some records. We're going to talk about music, what you guys want to do as far as parties and events. How can we get some things back started? How can we get and come together some places, not just dancing and on a dance floor, maybe doing some bowling parties or some shooting some pool with some house music. I want to put house music everywhere. How can we do that? Please keep me posted on what you guys think. I love you and thank you so much for your time.